Think you're muted, Justin.
All right, here we go. It's Tuesday. That's right. It's actually election day. How exciting. Yeah, Q&A for the VIP today. Sorry about the mute, guys. I didn't notice. I was telling you guys, I was like, can you hear me? You might want to unmute your microphones and talk to me. It turns out I'm the jerk with the mute button on. So anyway, it's good to see everybody today. Real Estate Wholesalers Club. This is VIP Q&A for Tuesday, November the 3rd, 2020. And I'm thankful to be alive today. It's a good day to be alive. Good day to be in the business. I want to take some of your questions today. Maybe if I can help you with some answers, I'd be more than happy to. But we also have Bob Vieira here. We always kick the week off with Bob. Bob Vieira. He is our resident short sale expert. Yes, universalshortsales.com. What's going on, Bob?
What's up, everybody? Just living life. What's going on?
It's good to see you, man.
You too.
You're in Florida?
In Florida, yep.
What's the weather like down there today, man?
Freezing, man. It's freezing.
Are you serious?
No. I'm kidding. I'm just being sarcastic. No,
wow.
It's always warm down here. It's nice.
Yeah, it's incredibly warm here in Kansas City. Kind of strangely warm. It's nice though. It was snowing last week, and now this week it's back to summertime. So
it's so weird. I remember. I mean, I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm a PA guy originally, and that's how Pennsylvania is. It's so weird. It's like snow and freezing cold, and then the next week's like beautiful. It's so weird.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like here. Yeah, and so what's going on in the short sale world, man? What's any updates that's happening in the? I saw you post something this morning.
Yeah.
That was talk about mortgage forbearances.
Yeah.
Going back up. It was kind of going down, and now it's going back up. What's going on with that, man?
That was actually real surprising. I mean, it rose by about 1%, a little over 1%. So, what that indicates to me is we may be looking at a rough Q4. A lot of people unable to pay their rent and mortgages. So, there's tons of states, and I'm actually going to share this with the group within the next couple of days or maybe the week. There's a lot of states, there's a lot of research coming out, and a lot of people in a lot of certain states, there's about 10 states that, people they're struggling very, very badly to pay their mortgage and their rent. So, it's important for investors to key in on those states, because if you're investing there, it can be a lot of opportunity, I think.
Yeah.
To help people out.
Yeah. A lot of opportunity to help people and make money in the process.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an important thought, is that we're real estate investors. And I've heard some people say, oh, those people that go in after the hurricane and buy those properties up for 25, 30 cents on the dollar, those are the, I don't know, the low lifes and the bottom feeders, I think is the word I heard, the bottom feeders. Who in the world are you guys? Right? That's what I thought when I heard that. I was like, no, that's not accurate. You misunderstand. You assume things that aren't true, because, as a creative real estate investor, if you're focusing on states that have a high amount of, defaults and
delinquencies,
delinquencies and the whole 9 yards, you really are coming in to offer a service. Answer this for me. Where else could they go really for options? And is the bank calling them up and saying, hey, here's your options?
Yeah. Bankruptcy, maybe. I mean, there's really not great options. So.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of options out there, and not a lot of professionals.
Yeah.
To go help, somebody in that kind of situation. So whether that's after a hurricane or after a financial hurricane.
Yeah. And you know what, Justin, just to piggyback off of what you said, most of the time the bank is going to try to get their money. So like if the bank does call these people with options, they're going to be like, hey, look, how can we work this out? Let's modify your mortgage so that you could pay us. Like they're not offering, really helpful options. They just want their money. So you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. So not a lot of options being presented by the bank itself.
Yeah.
Not any ones that are easily, or maybe even, you might even say reasonable, really. I mean,
Yeah.
they're pretty tough. So it's not a negative thing, the business that we're in, because folks really do need help. And if you've ever gone through a foreclosure yourself, maybe back in the last big economic downturn in 08, 09, or if you have a close relative or friend that you've seen go through it, it's probably one of the top 5 most stressful events that can occur in a person's life, I'm guessing. That's from my ignorant outsider's perspective, and what little experiences I've had with that in my circle. It's stressful as hell, and folks need an option. And unfortunately, what happens sometimes is these homeowners, I'm sure, driving to work, see a sign on the side of the road that says "We buy houses." They grab the cell phone, doot, 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 right? And ring, voicemail. Yeah, I've got a property. They end up talking with somebody, maybe. And then they say, well, yeah, I mean, it's a nice house. It has no equity much. In fact, it's underwater. We're in default. So you buy houses. I mean, we need to sell this one. What's that guy say? Somebody tell me. What's a wholesaler tell him?
I'll jump in if nobody has the answer.
He's basically going to tell him he's going to want to steal his house or give him basically nothing to get out of it, to get him out of it, right?
Well, if the guy's underwater,
right,
with his mortgage, so he owes more than the property's worth even. So that investor's probably going to say, there's nothing I can do for you.
Right.
I'll say a little prayer for you. Wish you the best of luck. Have a great day. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, but isn't that where the short sale come in at?
LaShonda, you should have said spoiler alert. Come on. Yeah, that's so true, LaShonda. That's where a short sale comes in. So what? Yeah. So tell us how a short sale helps folks like that, Bob. Explain it to us, man.
Yeah. So whenever you're on the phone with a seller like that, and like Justin said, they're motivated, they want out, but they don't have equity. They're underwater, they don't have equity. There's nothing you could do in your primary business model, which is wholesaling. You can't assign those deals because, again, there's no equity. So instead of hanging up the phone and saying a prayer like Justin said, whatever, you could tell them, look, I can't help you, but I have a wholesale or a short sale partner, or, a short sale connect, however you want to say it, just be transparent. Bob over at Universal Short Sales, he can help you if you wanted to go the short sale route. You don't have to be an expert on short sales. I could answer all the short sale questions that they have, because I'm sure they'll have a bunch. And then I can take them through the process if that's what they want to do. We could help them do the short sale and then cut you a check for every dead lead like that you send us, $500 right at closing, again, for every dead lead. And how it helps the seller is, again, services like yours are really no good to them in these situations because there's no equity, but we could help them sell the property and get out of their situation, even though they don't have equity. So we could kind of be their saving grace in a way, when they're out of options and they can't sell the traditional way. Yeah.
It's a great solution for some folks that are in a very, very tight, uncomfortable situation with the bank, and facing the doom and gloom of the scarlet letter. Anybody know what the scarlet letter is?
Yeah.
What that liens that what's it called when they sending out the is it Liz pendants or something like that?
Liz pendants, yeah. Liz pendants. What's a pop quiz? What's that stand for in Latin? What's it mean?
On the court.
Yeah, that's you nailed it. You nailed it. Going to court. Yeah, lawsuit pending. Yeah, exactly. You nailed it. Yeah, so that's a scarlet letter that when it's complete, it's ruined their credit, it's ruined their financial momentum. If it was in a good way at some point, it's no longer. It's devastated. It's been laid barren and waste. And so now they've got, the Scarlet Letter. Scarlet Letter is a reference to it's like an old novel where they put a letter on you. The letter in the book was A for adultery. So they would catch a lady in adultery and they'd put an A on her, and that's the Scarlet Letter. Everybody knew she was an adulterer for life. Okay. Just some real sick shit like this. Well, that foreclosure is kind of a scarlet letter. It's a scarlet letter. It'll stick around on their story for maybe for life, a long time. So it's a horrible scenario. So when you run into these people, your heart goes out to them, if you're me at least, and you probably are kind of like me. Your heart goes out to them. You want to do something to help them. So Bob is a great way to turn these kind of deals over to Bob and let him do all the work of the short sale. Unless you're a short sale expert yourself, that's okay. A lot of us here in the club are not and don't want to be, maybe. So here we go. We go to universalshortsales.com and we sign up. We get on his registry, and when we submit a deal over to him, then he'll pay us out $500. There's a JV agreement and things like that. So you guys will. So anyway, he's got a little system set up for us to be able to submit these kind of deals over to them to work. And that once you submit it over, you're done. You don't have to continue to call that person and talk them into doing this or that, or get them to sign this or that. No, don't have to do a thing. Is that right, Bob?
Yep. But I will keep you updated. So, I mean, you literally do nothing like Justin said, but you'll always know where the deal is in the process of the short sale and when you're getting paid. I mean, it doesn't get much easier.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. It's cool. It's a cool little system. It's a good tool to have in your kit. Guys, you pay money to get leads. You spend time to get leads. So you want to monetize every lead that you can.
Yep. That's the key. And you could still help people too. It's a win-win. I mean, you're able to monetize the lead and then you're able to still help someone instead of just walking away. So, it's a win-win. It really is.
Absolutely. Any
I got
questions?
a question for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm working on one right now. I just talked to them yesterday. They had to move. They're in properties in Louisiana. They had to move to Mississippi. It's basically maxed out. They're trying to sell it right now for what they owe, and they're still making the payments on it though. So it's not necessarily a short sale yet. I'm just, and we're looking at seeing about maybe doing like a 1-year lease option. And I think the other day somebody was talking about how the lender, their particular lender says that they're not allowed to rent it. And I think that came up like a week ago or something about that too. But they're going to give them an exception to be able to rent it for a year. And then if they keep it up as long as they keep it up for sale. So I don't know if that plays into if that would be a lead that I would want to give to you now, or do we wait until they maybe decide to stop making payments, or what do you think? What's that?
Well, first off, don't send it to me until 100% that there's nothing you could do, as an investor. I mean, once it's, if you're going to come up with a creative way to make the deal work, by all means, do your thing.
Sure.
Once you're at the point where you realize it's pretty evident that you can't help them, then I'm happy to get involved and, talk to the seller and see if a short sale works. One thing I will say to you, it's actually a great question about the mortgage delinquency. So the federal government mandates banks to, consider short sales on properties, even if they're not mortgage delinquent. Like, they technically have to look at it. But I mean, the chances of someone paying their mortgage consistently every month and the bank agreeing to take a loss on a short sale is pretty low. So I'm happy to take a look at it. But I mean, usually if the seller is in a strong enough financial position that they have steady income and they don't have a problem making their mortgage payments, the probability of getting that short sale accepted is pretty low.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. And I don't
So
know
so
those
what I would
details
actually
yet, so-
do, to follow up on that is really, if they're going to consider a short sale, you could ask them like, hey, look, I know you're making your mortgage payments. Ask them, do you think so I guess a better way to put it is, do they plan or are they able to make their mortgage payment in the future? Because a lot of people could make it, but maybe within the next month or two they plan on not paying it. So I would ask that question for
Yeah.
sure if they're
That's a
considering a
great
short
question.
sale.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
Good question.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great question.
Any other questions right now for Bob? Anything else? Okay, Bob is in the VIP. Okay, so if you're in the VIP, you can tag Bob right there in the VIP Facebook group, or in the chat room, either one, and you can, ask him your questions anytime.
Yep. Don't feel like you have to have a deal either. I'm here to any kind of like questions. If you're dealing with a bank or random questions that pop in your head, feel free to ask. Like, you don't have to have a deal in hand. I don't care about that. I'm happy to help you guys.
Okay, I do have a question. So, let me share my screen so you guys can see me. Okay, so when you're talking to a seller and I'm listening to what the other guy was saying, it's not really is it considered if they're making their payment, then how can it go into a short sale? Like, the whole point of the short sale is when they're upside down and they're not making the payment, or am I not understanding it correctly?
You're 100% understanding.
Boom.
That's actually beautifully said. The two main factors that are going to get a short sale to work are what you just said: behind on your mortgage payments and no equity, underwater. What I was just explaining before is it's very difficult. So, like, again, technically a bank has to look into the short sale because the government mandates that. But I mean, the chances of actually approving it is very low. Think of it this way. Think about if you're the bank, okay? Let's say you're the bank and you have a borrower. Justin's the borrower. And Justin's paying you every month. You lend Justin a bunch of money. Justin's paying you on time every month.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, Justin calls you up one day and says, hey, I want to sell the property for less than what the mortgage balance is. And, I want you to take a loss on it. Will you do that for me? Well, if you lent Justin money, you're the lender, Justin's paying you. What incentive would you have to let Justin, to take a loss on the amount of money that Justin owes you if he's paying you every day? Think about that. Right. Why would you take a loss on that? You would probably say, Justin, hell no. You know what I mean? No, keep on paying me. Why would I do that? So that's the psyche of the bank. When they see a borrower that's paying them, they have less incentive to take a loss on that, and let them do a short sale.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes money sense. What business is the bank in? Somebody tell me. And this applies all across the board.
To make money. They don't want the house back. They want your money.
They want that money, right? So like some people ask me, they're like, this due on sale clause, and blah, blah, and all this. I'm like, okay, but wait, let's think about it for a second. Why would they say, no, stop giving us money? We don't want this. Right. They're in the money business, right? They don't want properties. They want money. Somebody said that. You nailed it.
Yeah.
Good to see a lot of
Think
folks
about
here.
it too. Think about this too. What does the bank do when they do foreclose on stuff? They're not managing it. They're not investing in it. They hire a property management and an asset management company immediately to just handle the property. They want nothing to do with that asset. And then they sell it at an auction as quick as possible. Mm-hmm. They want nothing to do with your property.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. They've never even been there.
Hey, Bob. Do you find that a lot of people now with the moratorium on, because I've sent out a lot of cards and letters and stuff and never get any replies, are people thinking that they're not foreclosing on anybody. They just think, well, I can get by with this forever. I don't have to make my payments.
For sure. A lot of
You find
people are
that?
holding out. A lot of people are holding out because the COVID forbearance. And I actually made a video about this about a month ago and I posted it. Make sure you're following up with those people. A lot of investors, I guarantee you, are talking to those sellers. The sellers are saying, no, I have a COVID forbearance. I'm good. And then they're letting it fall off. Once these forbearances are over, because they're not going to last forever, once they're up, in certain areas of the country, there's going to be an onslaught of people who cannot make their payments. So what I would do and what I'm doing in my business, what I would highly suggest you guys do when you're talking to someone that you just mentioned, that's hanging on with the COVID forbearance, they're not worried about anything, end the conversation well, be polite, build rapport, and follow up with them,
Follow up. Okay.
every couple of weeks. Just touch in, hey, how you doing, Mr. Seller? Just dropping in to say hello. I know you're, dealing with the forbearance. Just want to see if you need anything from me or had any questions. I would keep it passive, but keep it consistent. Definitely put them in your CRM.
Okay.
Okay, I want to say something on that. I have a seller that I've been communicating with. I was originally talking to him about doing a sub two because he the property, the ARV on the property is like 145,000. He owes what did he tell me? I think he owes 70,000 and he's wanting to sell it for 90 because it needs work. So we were discussing me taking it over sub two. Well, then he goes to tell me that it's in forbearance until February. And I've been communicating with him back and forth. I was going to go out and look at the property, but then he got the COVID. So then that got seized for a while. So I've been communicating with him back and forth, but he do seem a little relaxed because of that forbearance thing until February, but he's wanting to relocate.
Mm-hmm.
He's wanting to relocate. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I would definitely, keep on communicating with him, put him on a follow-up for sure. I mean, February's a while. So, I mean, a guy like that's not going to be motivated right now because, he's literally protected by the government. He's untouchable right now. But I would definitely keep in touch. When he's negative from COVID, I would go over there and sit with them and really build rapport because a lot of these people, the forbearance is a short-term solution. That's all it is. A lot of these people are going to need your help at the end of the forbearance and it's going to hit them fast because these banks, mark my words, once this forbearance is up, they're going to be revving to go to get this bad debt off their books because all these forbearances, these people not paying them, this is bad debt for the banks. So once it's up, they're going to be revving to get these foreclosures started quickly. So people are going to be panicking.
Okay, so the forbearance is just basically saying, hey, your payments is on halt until blah blah date. Is that what that is?
Correct. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Does it
okay,
add
so then
up?
like when it's like that, do they put it on the back end or how are they doing that?
That's it.
It just goes on your mortgage balance. Yeah. Yeah. It goes towards whatever your balance is. Yeah.
So it's not all due February 1st, for example, the last 6 months of forbeared payments.
No.
Forborn?
Now
the
there's
word?
some private banks that could like structure it how they want, but like the government ones, like the VA, the FHA, which is like I would say probably more prominent than the conventionals. It just gets tacked onto your balance.
Okay. I see. But still a precarious situation if they're not able to make the mortgage payment.
Yeah.
I know I don't know about other people, but as a citizen of this country, I feel like when they offer you things like forbearance period, like if you would like to not make your mortgage payment for a while, it'll be okay. I heard that and I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like,
a lot of people are doing that though. A lot of people, I would say a large majority of people that are on forbearances don't need a COVID forbearance. They're just taking advantage of what the government's given them. You know,
Yeah.
like a lot of people, that's
Yeah.
why the numbers are a little skewed too. That skews the numbers a little bit.
Yeah. 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 That's good stuff. Good questions. Any other questions for Bob? Short sales, defaults, pre-foreclosures, stuff like that. Anything? Universal
Yeah.
short sales. Somebody go ahead.
I was going to ask, how long is the short sale process? I've never done it, but I've heard it can take a long time. What's the time frame?
So in a nightmare situation, if people try to do it on their own, it could go 6, 9, 12 months longer. I'm able to keep them, depending on the complexity of the file, because everyone's different. I'm able to keep them between 2 and 5 months on average.
Yep. Yep. Good question. Universalshortsales.com. Go register with him as a wholesaler. And that way he knows you and you know him. You got your little, JV agreement in place with Bob, and you can send leads over to him and he'll track, keep you updated, all that stuff. It's worth $500 to you if he can monetize that lead for you. So, any other questions? Anything? Bob, it's been fun, man. Thank you, sir. We always enjoy having you here.
Thank you. I love being here.
Thank you.
Here. Yeah, guys, reach out to me anytime. I'm in all the groups, or, if it's something urgent, I'd say probably text me, because I'm not like the best at responding to Facebook. So either tag me in a group or, shoot me a text.
What's going on, man? Shoot him a text. What's going on, man? I got a question. That's all you got to say. Yep. All right. So we'll see you next week, Bob.
Later, guys. Have a great week.
Now, I want to say welcome to everybody here in the Zoom room from the VIP. We've got Larry, Aaron, Connor, George, Joe, Jonathan, LaShonda, Mark, Nicholas, Philip, Sandra. And we got a number of people watching in the VIP club there on Facebook. I want to Aisha and some others. I want to say welcome. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I'm certain you guys have some questions. I know some of you guys are pretty new with us. I want to, first of all, let you guys know that you're more than welcome to speak up anytime, interrupt me, ask your questions. Let's get into the deals that you're working on, or the leads you're trying to generate, or whatever it is that you're working on. Let's dig into it. So feel free to open up and ask questions, and if we have answers, we'll share them with you. That's what the VIP is about. And if we don't have answers, we'll be honest with you and tell you, honestly, I've never done that. And you might have some stuff like that. Real estate investing and real estate wholesaling is pretty big concept when you look at it. So any questions out there right now? Who wants to jump off with a question? Anybody got one?
Justin,
yep.
I'm an old guy, and I don't quite understand on the automated REI what the phone number is about. The one you pay for, I think it's like $4 a month or something.
Yeah.
I don't understand, because I sent some text out. Had the guy call me, but he couldn't get a hold of me because I didn't understand how to run that.
Yeah.
Phone number, because on the training with,
I understand.
I don't he never really explained it very much, and I don't understand.
Okay, let me just open up automated REI and then share screens with you here, and I'll just show you exactly what you're asking. Good question. He's asking about automated REI. So let's just go right on over to automated REI. I hope you guys can see the screen. If you can, let me know. Okay, so here's automated REI. I've signed into the dashboard. You can see over here to the left, there's a vertical menu. It goes up and down. What he's referring to, what Larry's talking about, I believe, is when you slide down here, let's see, where is it? They've added some things recently. Man, and it's missing now. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. They added ringless voicemail to it. Sorry. All right, here we go. It's the RVM /voice recording module over here. Okay. So
Okay.
what you do is you'll add, okay, like for example, Larry's voicemail greeting is what I would name this. Okay.
Okay.
Now you hit record and you talking to the mic on your computer and you, hey, this is Larry. Sorry I missed your call. If this is about real estate, it's very important to me and I will get right back with you. Okay.
Right.
Something like that, whatever your voicemail greeting is. This is for inbound calls. All right.
Right.
So you'll want to set that up. All right. Now, when you go over here to SMS campaign or the TCPA compliance, either one. Okay. Oh, this is campaign history. Let me go to the SMS campaign right here. And you're setting up a text blast. Larry's text blast test. Okay. Let's go down here and select a campaign that we've scraped before. Let's do first run this time. That was a scrape that we did on Zillow. Select voice record is the next option. Okay. This is what voicemail that I just recorded. Larry's text inbound, Larry's, what was it? Larry's inbound voicemail greeting, whatever I called it. It'll show
Right.
up here when I actually record one. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay. When you record it.
yeah, when you record one, Larry, it'll show up there and you'll select and put it there. Okay. Select voice record. All right. And
Okay.
then you can come down here and you'll have to buy a number. All right. To text
Right.
from. Now you probably already have bought some numbers, which it sounds like to me you have.
Yes.
And so the reason why you have to buy a number is because this is not sending texts from your phone, your cell phone. This is sending texts from this platform. And so in order to send text from this platform, you have to buy a phone number for it to send from.
Okay.
So this is now your new business phone number just for sending texts when you want to use it. All
Okay.
right. So what'll happen is you'll send a text blast from that phone number that you buy. Folks will respond. Okay. They'll respond by one of two methods generally. That is, they'll either send a text message back to you or they'll call and leave a voicemail.
Okay.
And okay, now how do you work that phone number? That was the question originally, if I'm tracking you right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the guy left a voicemail, but I'm like, how do I get the voicemail? How do I work this phone? Because this is a phone number on this machine here. It's not on my phone. And you're totally right. So let's go over here to SMS campaign history and look at some leads that have come back. All right. So let's say we text blasted and now we have leads that are coming back. We have
Right.
people responding to us. So let's look at some responses. This is the response page. This is how you look at your leads. Message response. Now here's the text I sent out. If you could consider doing something like rent to own, I'd be ready to buy today. I have some money down. I'm very motivated to become a homeowner. Yes, no, or maybe. Okay. Now here's the response. This guy texted back under the message response column here.
Okay.
This phone number is the seller's phone number. He texted back. He said, "Thanks for checking. At this time, we are only interested in a sale."
Okay.
Okay. Now he texted back, but if he called back, Jerry, and he left a voicemail, it'll be transcribed and put into this column.
I get it.
Okay. So you can start a conversation with him here, or if he called in, which is a text conversation with the green button over here to the right, just like that, I can start a text conversation with him. Or if he calls me and leaves me a voicemail, I'm going to assume this is one of those cats that doesn't like to text. He likes to talk on the phone.
Okay.
Maybe he's a little more old school and he wants to talk. He doesn't want to text. There's a lot of folks out there like that. So if he calls and leaves me a voicemail message, it's going to be transcribed, put right here. I'm going to look right over here to the left. That's his phone number. I'm going to pick up the phone and dial, call him right back.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. So
All right. That's
Kinda-
good.
kind of a long explanation, but I hope that clears up the
It
mud for you.
does. It does.
Okay. All right. Good. Good.
Hey, Justin, I got a question about the automated REI.
All right, George.
Hey, I did a scrape and I think I did it during a time that, well, Zillow took all the physical numbers
Yeah.
away. So none of my scrapes had phone numbers.
Yep.
And so how do I know we're supposed to skip tracing through, Michael, is that right? Through the skip tracing service to get them?
Yep. But let me explain to you how this works. Because you're right, but it's going to be done all automatic for you. Here's the announcement. And if you haven't heard, this has been big news in the VIP club. We've talked about it in the chat room a little bit for the one-on-one students. But Zillow has removed seller contact information from their site. So you can't really scrape the site because you can't even go to the site and get the information. So there's nothing to scrape anymore. They've ripped off all that information. So that means you're not getting the name, you're not getting their phone number, okay? You're not getting their email address. All right. So how do you market these people? How do we continue to market to them? Well, a couple things I want to point out here is one, if we can get leads from Zillow still, that's going to be a better lead than it was last week. Why do I say that? Anybody have any opinions on that? Why do I say that if we can get leads from Zillow still, it'll be a better lead?
Other people aren't going to be able to contact them now.
They're not going to take the time to be able to look it up.
Yeah, because we're one of the few people that actually has this person's contact information. And whereas up until like last week, everybody in the entire world could find it. Right? So there's been entire courses I've bought from coaches and gurus that teach Zillow, put the app on your phone, set up a few filters. When properties meet that criteria, you'll get a notification on your phone. Look up the contact information of the homeowner, call them, make your offer, do your deal. There's your business in a box. Go. I've seen 2 courses based on that premise. Both those courses right now are worth about nothing because that technique is dead. That technique is dead. Zillow you can't get contact information off Zillow anymore that easy. So those courses are probably going to be pulled off the shelves. They're not mine. They're some other folks'. I really enjoyed them at the time. But I think that's going to make Zillow leads a better lead when we monetize this, when we can monetize better than we did last week. Better leads, fewer people have them. So that's one thing I think is better leads. But here's what's happening to answer the question. So there's no scrape possible on Zillow, but stay tuned, okay, because it gets better. So what ends up having to happen is they scrape, but they get property information, but no seller contact information. And you might have noticed that, right? Is that what you were referring to, George? When you did your scrape, you got a bunch of property information, but you didn't get diddly for contacting sellers.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what ends up happening now on Zillow. And so here's the workaround that Automated REI has come up with. There we go. All right. So they're going to scrape Zillow, get the property information. Just like always, you run your scrape like normal. Okay. It's going to come back it's going to have no contact information for sellers whatsoever. Internally, inside the automated REI, okay, what's going to happen is they are going to take that scrape and they are going to then skip trace it and then upload it into your leads. Okay. Does that make sense? So you're not going to have to change your process at all. You're not going to have to change your process or methodology at all. So run your scrape. They should, according to automated REI, go in there, grab your scrape, upload it into their system, skip trace it, and then put it back for you with the information that you've always had and expected.
I need to wait a couple of days because right now, because mine finished like yesterday.
Yeah. It takes 24 to 48 hours to do the skip trace. Okay. So that's a great question. Here's what I would do since this is so new. I would reach out to TwoSeef and just touch him and say, hey, I just wanted to make sure you guys are skipping this stuff.
Okay.
Because I got marketing plans. I got dates on the calendar for me working leads and so on and so forth. And I need to make sure this is moving forward. I'm just touching you. Boop.
Gotcha.
Boop.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Justin,
Just let me know it's okay. Yeah. What's up?
hi. When it's coming back from automated REI, is it coming back with the names as well? Because they never used to provide the. Because usually what you would get
Right.
would just be the phone number and the address.
Yeah.
So is it coming back with the names as well?
It should be coming back with information like you would get if you skip traced it. Like, for example, the name as well. Yes. Good
Okay.
point. So it'll be a better lead, I think, but then also you should be getting more information too. Great
So
question.
the name as well as the phone number is something that it's coming back with those two things.
Yes, it should.
Okay.
It should. Yes. I mean, I say it should because again, this just happened last week with Zillow where they took off the owner's contact information off their site.
Mhm.
So this is a quick workaround that automated REI is doing. I don't have any experience with it. So I'm just kind of being the paper boy a little bit here too. But I'm experimenting with it this week myself. Okay.
Yeah, my scrapes were actually processing when they did. So
Yeah.
I'm like crap. So
Hey
glad-
Justin, I had a question about the REI. This is LaShonda. I had a question about the REI automator
Yeah.
because I'm just tapping in and just learning how to use it. So one of my question is, you instructed us to do this on a daily basis, try to come up with at least 100 leads on a daily basis. So if I'm in the Kansas City market and am I scraping, like say for instance, if I wanted to scrape Overland Park, am I scraping Overland Park every day? If I want to set it up for the week, would I be setting up a scrape daily for Overland Park? Or when I do that scrape for Overland Park at one time, I'm not hitting that area for another 30 days. That's where I got confused at.
Yeah, that's the way I do it. I'll put 30 days distance between the last time I did this area.
Okay, so like today, if I set up a scrape, which won't be available till tomorrow for Overland Park, and so when tomorrow come, when I'm setting up a scrape, I'm not touching Overland Park anymore because I've already done it. So I won't touch it again for another 30 or however
Correct.
long.
Correct. That's how I do it.
Okay, well
Okay.
I did mine's wrong then because I was doing mine's on the daily, and I was thinking I was pulling the same stuff.
You were. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I do it the way I do. Cause I don't want to do the repeat. I don't want to hound people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And plus it's money, it adds up. Right.
Right. Yeah, I did mine's wrong. So moving forward, I know because what I did was I set it up for the week.
Yep.
And then I picked out certain areas, and then Sunday I did it one day, and then when Monday came, I did that same area.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So that's
it
wrong.
was basically the same scrape you were doing.
Okay, that's what I
yeah,
thought.
basically. Yep. Connor,
thank you.
yeah, no, you're welcome. Connor, what's going on, man?
What's up, Justin? How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Where are you from?
California, Petaluma.
Woo, man, we got a lot of California people up in here. We got Victor and Rick and Alepha and Connor, and I think there's some other people. Debbie, we got a lot of West Coast Californians. West Side, represent. What are you working on, Connor? What's going on in your business, man?
So I actually got a deal that I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
So the deal, it's in Northern California. The guy who owns it lives in Southern California. His mom's living in it, and she's 103. So he wanted to sell it. He's done with dealing with it. So he doesn't want to do any owner financing or anything like that. But what he wants is just to cash out. But he wants to have his mom get a lifetime residency. So I don't so she can't pay any rent or anything like that. So I'm not sure exactly if that's a sellable deal.
So in other words, I want you to buy this house from me, but I want you to let my mom use it until she dies. But she's 103, so it should be any minute now.
Yeah, essentially.
Crazy.
Philip said that's crazy. Yeah, it kind of is crazy a little bit. You know, that's a strange scenario I've never heard. Is any Victor, you got any comments on that, man? That's a thick one right there. That's chocked full of controversy.
Is it free and clear?
Yeah, straight clear.
Okay, so why don't you just do a seller carryback, give him whatever money he needs to handle his business like that. She pays on a monthly basis, or you can get the money out of him up front. You know, let him give you the discount right up front.
Okay.
You know, he does a seller carryback. You know, you can do it on a small monthly note, or even defer the note until, in fact, she does pass away. You can be in charge of all the maintenance, get a home warranty, do some stuff that'll take care of the house, and then when she does, you can either sell it or refinance it, take the money out of it, and now you're the full owner of the property.
Okay. I asked him about owner financing for a little bit, but he wasn't too interested in it because he owes his brother a lot of money and he doesn't want to make any payments or anything like that.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you too well. You have a really bad echo.
I think
so
you must have your speakers up. Maybe your speakers up, and it's kind of feeding back into the mic. Say that again about his brother, Connor, when you get a chance.
Is that any better?
Yeah, lots better, dude.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, he said that he wasn't too interested in doing an owner financing or lease option or anything with payments because he owes a lot of money to his brother, and then he's also got some back taxes on the place as well. So he owes, I think.
What's that number?
I think it's around 60,000.
Wow. And what's the value?
About 500,000.
Oh shit! So anybody will lend you the money to do that. Maybe you can just get enough to handle his problem right there. How much does he need right now? How much does he want to cash out? Because if he wants to cash out, he can't do the mother thing. They can't go together.
Okay. We were talking
he's asking a lot.
390 for cash or 380 for cash, and he said that might be a little too low and a little too complicated for that. So we were talking around 400 to do that for cash, but I just wasn't sure how it was all going to work out with a cash deal.
Yeah, you can't do a cash deal and dictate who you're going to have in the property. That seems a bit much.
Okay.
What do you
Well,
think, Justin?
I'm thinking the guy's asking for everything and a bag of chips too.
Yeah.
You know, it's a weird situation where his mother wants to he wants his mother to live there until she dies on your coin. That's the,
Yeah.
so, you know, that could be taken into account, but see, you're going to have to be able to buy this place at a big discount. But what's the discount? It's worth 500,000. What could you pick it up for? Cash.
Maybe 400 is probably
Hmm.
where he would be at. Cause I offered 380 and he said that's a little low. And then we were talking about 400.
Is it in good shape?
Yeah, it's in good shape. He's just got new carpet paint and did some work to the kitchens and bathrooms. He said it still needs a new heater though. And there's also outside unit that he said could be turned into a second unit as well. It's like a laundry room, but it's 2 stories.
Yeah. This guy's getting in a position that's very, very strange. I mean, it's almost like he's betting on mama kicking the bucket sometime soon. And it's very odd. It's very odd. Mercenary motives against mama almost. Strange. I used to be familiar with a technique called the silver plan, and I've never done it, just to be honest, but I was familiar with it pretty good for a little while. And it was kind of similar to a reverse mortgage, except it was an investor plan like us coming in and doing it and setting it up where they could live there until they die. Like a reverse mortgage would, but I don't recall enough about it to speak intelligently. So I'll have to do a little research on that one, Connor. That's a good question.
Did you also check who actually owns the house? Because he mentioned something about his brother. So when she passes, you know, who's going to get that house? Who's legally going to get that house? Because if he's concerned about his brother, there might be some fighting going on there to get that house, and you don't want to be involved in that.
Yeah. So I did check it out. I did like the owner search in Freedom Soft, and it came back with his name. So I'm not sure if his brother would be on the deed as well or not.
Right.
Just from that search.
So he's kind of like gambling, like, is the county going to get it before mama dies? Or like, you know, like, I feel like he's getting himself in a real, he's playing the fates. It sounds, does that make sense? What I'm saying, like, because if he owes $60,000 in back taxes on the property, I mean, how much longer does he have to go before they start digging around wanting something?
Yeah. Well, I think what happened was his brother paid off 30 and he still owes 30.
Oh, geez.
So that might give him a little more time.
I see.
Well, how much are rents in that area?
Rent's probably, I don't know off the top of my head. I'd say probably around 2,500 to 2,800.
Consider offering him, that he reduces the price, whatever price you come to, have it reduced by the amount of, say, 18 months to 24 months worth of rents is what what you would normally be earning in that property. So she becomes the tenant and she has paid up rent for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
That would reduce the price, right? By that amount. And buy a little bit more time and make the financing a little bit more attractive.
I think that's the only way to do it. Outside of that, mama's got to go.
Yeah, mama's got to go.
Outside of that option of just putting rent payments in escrow, basically, is what you're talking about, right, Victor?
That's correct.
Yeah. Do you understand where he's coming from with that, Connor?
Yeah, I think so. That makes sense.
So in other words, 400,000 purchase price minus 3 years of payments and escrow for mama.
Yep.
That would be maybe the starting negotiation price. So it's doable if the guy's willing to be flexible with you a little bit, but it sounds like he's not very, very, very flexible.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, he said, he kind of hinted at like, yeah, I might just hold on to it until she passes away and then try to deal with it. But he's also motivated to do something now, it's kind of
sure.
It's kind of a pain on him.
I think I would make him the offer and put two or 3 years of escrowed payments in for grandma.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would do. I think that's a good plan, Victor.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's the only way I can imagine getting it done.
Yeah. See if he could do what would the monthly rent be on a $500,000 house in Northern California?
I think it's around 2,500 to 2,800, somewhere in that range.
Are you married, Connor?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, here's another idea. I'm sure grandma's probably single too.
I don't like where this is going.
And all grandma needs is a place to stay. You know what I mean?
Oh, Justin.
That's funny.
Well, that's good, man. You know, we are in the creative real estate business, so we are running up against problems, people's problems, other people's problems, OPP.
Keep down with OPP.
You know me. I am down with OPP. And
Hey, Justin.
say it again, LaShonda.
No, I was going to ask a question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now go ahead. I was just going to say this is a perfect scenario Connor brought to us because it highlights the fact that we are creative real estate investors. We have to think through things and build scenarios that are solutions, and not always are they obvious. That's why we have the VIP group here to help talk through things like that. So I hope that helped a little bit, Connor. At least maybe if I were you, I'd go make an offer on that place today.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah, good dude.
I have one in St. Louis, but from what I'm seeing, I don't think it's a deal. That's why I'm bringing it here because maybe you guys can see. Okay, so this guy, he has a property. It's the mom's house. The mom has passed. The son is wanting to sell it, so she owes 88 on it. It's worth about 120. So he's giving me all the information about the property, but he can't sell it because it's not in his name. Doesn't it have to go to probate?
And his wife died?
No, his mom. It's the mom's house. The mom passed.
Yes.
She didn't put anything in place as to where the property is going. So
yes.
It does have to go to probate. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Even though he's the only sibling, it still has to go to probate?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then that answers the question because there's nothing else that we can do.
How long ago was she dead?
She died.
How long ago was she dead?
She died like a year ago. He's 7 months behind because he hasn't made a payment on it. He's 7 months behind.
They haven't done anything with probate court, filing it in probate or nothing yet?
Nope.
And they're trying to figure out ways to not maybe do that and just kind of let it go and see what happens.
He wanted to sell it. So when I talked to him, I'm digging out all this information.
Mm-hmm.
And what I gathered was he hasn't made a payment really since she passed, really. They made a few payments, but now they're behind. He said about $7,000. And he wants to sell it, but he can't sell it because I'm telling him, I'm like, to my understanding, you can't sell it because it's not in your name. It's got to go to probate. And probate, that's probably going to be what, another at least month or 2 months, maybe, or more?
Probably 60, 90, 6 months.
Okay,
like
and so with that means that payment is steady going down. Well, he wasn't really worried about it because we're experiencing this COVID and all this forbearance and all this other stuff. So he's wasn't really worried about it, but he wants to try to sell it. But I don't see, because the property needs work. He owes 88, is worth 120. I don't really see any room in there to make this work. Do you guys see anything that I'm maybe missing?
If the numbers
I considered it a dead deal.
Yeah, if the numbers don't work, the numbers don't work. Here's what you could do. All right. I've seen it done once before. I was involved in it. I was the wholesaler. A guy called me. He said, my dad died. 2 years ago, here's the house. I'm sick and tired of mowing the yard and using it like as a storage place because no, you know, it's all it is. It's just an empty
Right.
house now, and the family puts shit in it, and I mow the grass every week, and I'm tired of it. Can I sell this off to you? Will you buy it from me? I only want $2,000. I was like, okay, well, this was over in, by the way, this was in KCK. So it was a nice, pretty nice house in KCK on a big corner lot. I looked into it. Dad is still on the deed. Dad's been dead for 2 years. So I can't put it under contract with Dad because Dad's dead. And it didn't go through probate because they did the same thing, try to avoid all the legal stuff. And that just means the deed is tied up. The deed is still in Dad's name. It never got transferred to anybody, so they can't sell the house. It's just sitting there. So here's what I ended up doing. I ended up putting a buyer with him that put a contract on it with him. Okay. Even though he's not on the deed, put it under contract with him. And it was an owner finance contract where he didn't have to make any payments for like the next 6 months or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had a clause in it where when the deed is transferred and all that lands in his name, then he'll buy it out with cash, $2,000. Okay. So the guy was going to get his $2,000. But then what ended up happening is we put the guy into the title company, and the title company recommended an attorney that went to work and cleared up all the mumbo jumbo. And my buyer was more than happy to pay a couple grand in attorney fees and stuff like this to get it closed. Cause now he still has a house for less than $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened in my case. So he kind of tied it up with a kind of a good old boy, kind of a handshake, kind of a deal with the kid. And then after it got all cleared away, it was like, boom, you know, we're ready to go now. So that's like babying it together, but that's basically what that guy did, what I did with it. It worked out fine, but the numbers were good.
Right. So this one is, I mean, if it would have been a situation where I could have got it 1,000 or 2,000, it would have been worth riding it out. But in this particular situation, because she owes 88 and it's worth 120 and it needs some work, I don't see it being any type of deal. I just want to bring it to the group just to make sure, because I'm still learning, you know, these processes, just to make sure that I wasn't tripping.
Well, if the house is in nice shape and he'd be willing to do some kind of a creative rent deal with you until he can get the deed transferred over, if you could arrange it in some respect like that, where it made sense cash flow wise instead of just numbers wise, and you had a nice long term on it or something, maybe, but it doesn't sound like that's really what they want. They want to sell Mom and Dad's house and get the cash and move on with life.
Right. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He wanted to get some type of cash in his pocket.
Yep. And that's what kids always want. How many of you in here got kids? Yeah, I do. And you know what's going to happen when you die? They're going to come over to your house and they're going to grab all your shit like immediately. Okay. Because that's what they're in it for. What's in it for me?
Facts.
What's in it for me? I have never met a group of beneficiaries that cried while signing the contract. Never once. Oh, they love mama, they love daddy, but this is a happy, happy day. Isn't life funny? Aren't we strange animals? Us people.
I agree.
Wow. That's real facts right there. Been there, done it, seen it.
Yeah. I had a funeral I went to for a close family member about 1.5 years ago. And we had the little dinner after the funeral and all that stuff at the church. And then as soon as dinner was over, it was like, wow, like cars just flying out of the parking lot, man. Going to the deceased house like it was some kind of blue light special at Kmart, man. It was whack. I've never seen anything like it.
I believe it, man.
Woo. Yeah. Hey, Jonathan had a question. Automated REI, what does the others category mean on list pulling? That's a great question. Let me share screens with you and show you exactly what he's talking about. This is automated REI. Go down to the list pooling tab, hit select or select the list pooling, and you fill in the blanks here. This is how you buy a list. Okay. And what he's talking about, I think, is in the select options, others. Okay. So these are pre-labeled lists that you could buy, tax delinquents, pre-foreclosures, blah, blah, blah. All these expired listings. Ding, 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 ding. That's a gold nugget for you. Others. What does that mean? Well, that means I want absentee owners, 10 plus years ownership, vacant, recently or currently in eviction. Okay, now that's a hell of a list. That's a tired landlord, 10 years of ownership. The house is vacant. He's recently or currently going through an eviction. Okay, you're not going to find that on this list right here, right? This is the short list. But if you've got something you've thought of that's not on this, hit others and then come down here and type it in here. And then you can also come down here and add more on the notes. Okay. And they will custom design this bad boy for you. Okay. You can combine it with the skip trace and get the phone numbers off to the races.
Oh man, that's cool. I appreciate that, Justin.
Yeah, dude. No problem. No problem. See, the actual form is real boilerplate. It's just like, it's kind of basic, but if you want something not basic, you could definitely get it. Yeah.
Hey, Justin,
Is anybody waiting for an expired listing that they've submitted that's taking a long time? I'm just curious if maybe there's something going on with automated REI. I know you guys had mentioned something about, I know last time we talked to Michael, there was a couple of things that were brought up, but I've been waiting for an expired listing since the 23rd.
Yeah, see, that's way too long. So something's happened and something's spinning,
Yeah, I've texted, I've submitted.
Yeah.
Even last week I submitted an open ticket. How they and I still haven't heard anything. So I just want to check to see
Okay.
if anybody else in the group is going through the same thing.
Yeah, TUSIF actually emailed me because I had a tired landlord pulled off a prop stream, and he's working on it, but it has been a couple of days, and I haven't heard from him either. So I was going to touch base with him today to see what's going on.
Okay, if you're in the VIP club, it's important for you to have the information I just put in the chat room in the Zoom room. It is the phone number, direct line to TUSIF, texting or calling, either one. If anything you ever do on automated REI takes longer than 24 to 48 hours, something's not right. Something went wrong someplace, somehow, on your end, on their end, and somewhere in the middle. Hit them up, 608, blah, 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 TUSIF, what's going on? I submitted this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
What happened? This is the first time I've ever done it. Can you check on this for me? And he will right away get right on it. Okay. So, I would recommend today, Sandra, hitting him up.
Yeah, I did. I did. Cause I just, like I said, I did. Like I said, I also opened up a ticket last week and I didn't get anything.
Okay. But
about
have you
that, so I
called,
wanted to check.
have you called him? Or
I
texted him?
texted him and he said, he's going to be checking in on it. I did, like I said, I just want to ask if anybody else is going, going through that, or if it was just me. So
yeah, we all are. I think to answer the question, I think we all are a little bit, even me. Let me show you. Okay. Let me see if I can get back to it here.
Yeah, I think one of my numbers got flagged before like a week ago, so I had to buy a new number on it.
Yeah, sometimes strange things happen that are outside of both of our control, them and us. Let me show you this. Look at this. Processing.
Yep.
Okay. See, I'm running into it too. Okay. So it's happening to me, not just you. All right. It's
Yeah,
happening to all of us.
I've had the expired listings from them before, and I've gotten it. I've gotten in a decent amount of time. It's just it happened to be that
Yeah.
these last batches. I'm waiting for 4 lists. So and they're all are going into over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I'm gonna see what he says. So
Call them up and be the squeaky wheel a little bit. You know, I don't you know, you don't have to be rude or anything, but be the squeaky wheel, because that's the one that gets the grease first.
yeah, I asked him if there's anything I should do on my end to expedite it. You know what I mean? Like, should I
Yeah.
have, so I did all that, you know, and he just said, you know, sorry that it's taken a long time. Let me check with my team. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, just let me know. Cause you know, I'm working, those are the markets I'm about to start
Mhm.
working in. So, but
It will smooth out. I
problem,
guarantee
no
you that.
problem. Yeah.
We are having all of us are having
Okay.
issues. And I think it's because things are changing for them
Right,
in that business so rapidly, like with the Zillow and the contact information, and then having to incorporate,
right.
you know, all the things we've talked about. So I think they're, you know, they're winded a
Trying to
little bit.
catch up.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think that, you know, I think that's what it is. Yeah.
No worries. Like I said, I just want to
Yeah.
ask if anybody else was, you know, so.
Yeah. You're not alone, Sandra. Thanks for bringing that up.
Hey,
Yeah.
Justin, on the when we're in the automated REI, and we
Yeah.
have, because I have PropStream too, so and you can pull the expired listings in PropStream, and I'm noticing that you can pull it in the REI. So which way would be the best way, or is it about the same data?
Well, if you have PropStream, it's easier, honestly, to just go to PropStream, download
And
it
do the
right
same
there.
thing. Okay.
Okay. But here's the thing. It's so quick too. On automated REI, it's cheaper. You don't have the $97 subscription fee. Plus, but it's going to take like, it is going to take 24 to 48 hours. Okay.
Okay.
It's the budget method, and it does get the same work done. It's the same exact data, basically. It's just a little bit longer. It takes a little slower. So if you have both, it's quicker and easier just to go to PropStream. But if you don't have both and you're on a budget, it's easy to use automated REI if you have the time.
Got it.
Yeah, because then you don't have to import your list. And I imagine there's probably like the SMS feature and everything else is a little bit more dialed in, directly pulling it straight from the REI.
Yeah, you can pull it right from REI, automated REI, and then upload it immediately, and it's good to go. You know, whereas if you download it from PropStream and then upload it into automated REI, oftentimes you need to format it some, the spreadsheet, if that makes sense. So, you know, if I were you guys starting out fresh today, if you're starting out fresh and new, and I had a little bit of money coin to fund my business, a couple hundred a month or something, I would probably do 90% of what I do, maybe 100 of it on PropStream. Okay. But automated REI, so much more inexpensive, a little bit more user friendly too. It's easier to work through some of the, you know, the pages and forms and stuff. So, you know, it's got, I don't know, it's you know, what do you like? You know, what you want, you know, whatever you want. So that's me though, but I like them both. I really enjoy both, and I need PropStream because I have a team. See, and so the data, the property values and the comps and all, see, that's so important for me and my team to all have the same working interface for all the same data. So
yeah,
I
wonder
know.
if, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Jonathan.
I was just wondering if Michael would be able to pull in like comps and stuff eventually and put that into their system. Would be awesome to have that in there.
I believe me, man. I just brought this up to him not that long ago, and I bring it up pretty frequently because it does need to happen. You know, it's an update that should be on there, and I think he will at some point. They do take into consideration what we say, and they try to add things on, but it is a process too. You know,
yeah, and
so.
finding one system that does everything, you know, that's just unheard of.
True. And here's the thought, guys. Do you really want one system that does everything? See, why do I talk about automated REI and PropStream and now Investor Deal Pro? Is it because I want to sell affiliate links for all of those and just get rich? Because you don't get rich off selling those affiliate links, guys. It's like a couple bucks, it's not a lot. So, but why do I talk about all three? Because I also say this: be Bruce Lee, be water, be fluid, go with the flow, right? So if automated REI is poo-poo for the week, that's okay. I'm plugged into PropStream. I am not going to be put out of business because Michael Batista has a technology problem today. And he would not want me to be. So that's why you don't want all your eggs in one basket. So it amazes me when people are like, yeah, I signed up for REI Pro or whatever it is, and it does everything. FreedomSoft, it does everything. And I've got my websites there and my email lists and all my marketing and all my data and everything is all right there. And I'm like, yeah. And what happens if that goes down? You're done. Spread out a little bit, guys. Be fluid. Be fluid. I'm just trying to give you good advice. So I get a little nervous when automated REI starts messing up. I get a little sweaty, but at the same time, I also know that I'm going to be okay because I can pull 10,000 records off PropStream today if I want to. Not a problem. Not a problem. We've been going for a minute.
Justin,
Yeah, go ahead, Victor.
real quick on the Zillow scrapes through automated REI, since they're no longer giving you the owner information or the agent information, are they charging for the scrape that goes along with the skip trace that goes along with the Zillow scrape now?
It's not like a scrape price plus a skip trace now. It's like a scrape that costs an extra penny or two, I think is what he said. He said he's just going to, so you'll like, normally you would scrape Zillow for like, I don't remember what it was, 3 cents a scrape or something. He said now it's just going to be like 5 because we're going to have to incorporate the skip trace into it. So it's going to add a little cost to me. And I'm unfortunately going to have to pass that on. I was like, dude, who cares? 5 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was like,
so are we looking at a couple of more days? So we're looking at probably 2, 3, maybe 4 days for the Zillow scrape combined with the skip trace and then back to you?
I think so. If I understand it correctly, Victor, I think so. So it should work where my team does a scrape on Sunday. I should still have leads ready to blast out on Thursday.
Yeah. So you just need to adjust your timeline accordingly.
Yes. Be water.
Okay.
Yes. Be fucking Bruce Lee. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Woo.
Grasshopper.
Any other questions? We've been going for a little over an hour. Let's wrap it up if we can and get back to work today. Y'all go out there and make some money, do some things, make some calls, get some lead gen started, whatever you got to do. You know what you got to do. So go do it. It ain't going to take you all day. Just get it done, eat the frog, wrap it up, and then feel good about what you did for your business today. If you don't push your business forward today, who is? Nobody. So do something productive today. Any last questions? Anything else, guys? Gals? Guys and
No,
gals?
thank you.
I love you guys. I love every one of you. It's such a blessing. George, Philip, Connor, Jerry, Mark, LaShonda, Jonathan, Sandra, Victor, Debbie, Aaron, Aisha, Rick, everybody watching out there. Thank you. Love you guys. You know where I'm at if you really need me. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll see you later.
Bye, y'all. Have a
Thanks.
good day.
Hey, it was
Thanks,
great
Justin.
meeting you. Bye-bye.